Welcome to Lucky Paper YouTube page. Lucky Paper Video. You don't like Lucky Paper Video? We're playing some Paper Magic today. We are doing a grid draft. My favorite number one top way to draft a cube with two people. A lot of people think, Anthony, you can't have a cube unless you're going to have 8 friends all the time, or 7 friends.
They'd be wrong.
Wrong. I love doing 2-player drafts, and this is one of my favorite ways to do it. And we're drafting your regular cube today. Anthony, tell us about your regular cube.
So the regular cube is it's my own creation. It's a design that is basically meant to play somewhat like Limited, but with a lot more complexity. So compared to a typical vintage cube, it's a lot less powerful. These are going to be a lot of like weird bulk rares and stuff like that. But it's very much tuned to have like a lot of complex overlapping themes and mechanics.
Limited plus.
Limited plus. Yeah, so if you have like Limited is to a master set is to this cube, I think is a reasonable way to think about it.
And that's how you get a good grade on your SATs.
And we're going to do a grid draft, which means we're going to lay out packs of 9, and alternating, we will each take either a row or a column, and then try and build a deck from that.
What's up, Rick Kente and Cherry Magnolia, TGIF? Should we do a high roll to see who gets to go first?
Let's do it. Let's use this one right here. Ooh, you did not beat a 12.
You're first.
Okay, looking at this pack, we have green cards and black cards and lands, although Field of Ruin isn't a super high pick here, but I feel like, I guess also Mythos and Temple is a reasonable pick. I think it's pretty solidly between these two, though. And I think that these are more exciting main deck cards.
I wanted the Mythos Tempo column is what I wanted.
Really? Wow.
Yeah.
I can see that.
The thing is, I'll stay open. I'm not high on any of these green cards. None of these green cards make me want to play green.
Wow. One of the few. So this cube is mostly uncommons, I would say. There's a handful of rares, a number of rares, and there's maybe like 1 or 2 mythics, and that one just got passed.
Good luck finishing that PR, Cherry Magnolia.
A pull request?
Pull request, I believe. Took my Temple of Deceit, and I got paid off by Master of Death, So I feel very strongly that I need to take Master of Death, Lightning Strike, Golgari Rot Farm, because I think those are the 3 best cards in this pack, and they're all in the same row.
I would agree. I think maybe,
What a blessing.
obviously, Monster Swift Spear, if you're in a certain deck, is quite good, and Eldest Reborn is quite strong, but I agree.
All right, I'm going to try to say every card I take just so people that can't quite see the cards can sell. I'm taking Rot Farm, Lightning Strike, and Master of Death. I'm excited about Master of Death in this cube.
Master of Death, I would not be surprised if I cut it soon
I just put it in my own cube, so pretty spicy.
All right, well, I will take basically the Eldest Reborn, and we'll see if I end up with either of these 2 other cards. Neutralize.
I used to be
and Dry
very
Green
high
Sea.
on the Eldest Reborn in this cube, and then it burned me so many times that now I'm very low on it. Probably too low on it.
It's pretty narrow, but it is, if you're doing a slow game and your opponent doesn't have a lot of tokens and stuff like that, it can definitely, the ceiling is high.
What kind of slow game are you in where your opponent only has good things to sacrifice? I feel like they're always going to have some crap floating around.
Yeah, that's fair. So this is my pick.
You up, baby? Hey, baby.
So this cube does have multiple copies of Prismatic Vista, just sort of playing the role of fetches, but in a much more flexible way, which I think fits the
Not
theme.
as flexible as other fetches, just to point out.
Well, if we
It's
didn't have shocks.
It's simpler.
I think Curative of Mysteries is kind of a power outlier, actually. So I'm pretty interested in that. I have some other blue cards. Sling Gang's also reasonable.
You're not going to take the Prismatic Vista?
I think there's a chance I don't take the Vista.
Well, wild. Well, weird.
Malefic Scythe is a card that I think is pretty cool. I think it is pretty bad in grid draft, though, specifically.
Wish I could put my computer right here, so when I was looking at chat, it didn't look like I was looking away from everybody.
Fair. So yeah, let's take Sling Gang Lieutenant and Curative Mysteries, and we get a Grateful Apparition.
I feel targeted, but I think you're making a mistake for not taking Prismatic Vista.
I could be.
I think Negate is okay in grid draft. I don't like it so much main deck in this cube. In a regular draft, I'm going to take Vista and Negate. I'm fine enough on Negate. I'm not going to let you push me off of blue. I will not be bullied.
We have some cards.
Gotta be honest, nothing here is jumping out at me as a card I'm really enthusiastic about putting in my deck. I think Thrashing Brontodon is low-key pretty good here just because it's a 3-mana 3/4
Yep.
in a lower power environment. Scurry Oak is a huge payoff for the +1/+1 counters, but I have nothing even in that general direction whatsoever. Jehoira is a card,
That is correct.
and then Fungal Infection is the world's worstest figure.
Hey, now.
Priest of the Forgotten Gods. Can I play you for value, or do I have to be doing some Aristocrats nonsense?
I think you can just play it for value. I think it just, like, on enough board states, it turns out to be okay.
All right, here's what we're going to do. I'm going to lean into the cube, Anthony.
Yeah.
You know, I'm tempted to take just generically useful, powerful cards, but instead I'm going to take Priest of the Forgotten Gods, Gravecrawler, which both combo with Master of Death.
Yep.
I'm going to try and do what the cube is telling me to do.
I mean, I think you should.
And I end up with a
try and
Voyaging
win.
Satyr I don't expect to try and play. You say that every time I say I'm going to do what the cube's going to try and do.
Uh-huh.
But I'm just doing the cube. I'm doing it. Can't stop me.
I don't expect you to go out of your way to find the fun. Is what I'm saying.
That video of Mark Rosewater is
I didn't quite finish it, but
pretty
it was
hilarious.
Excellent. All right, this is also not a super exciting pick. I'm not really in green. I agree Thrashing Brontodon's pretty good. I think Scurry Oak is actually a lot more powerful, though. Jehoira's cool, but it's going to be rough, and it's going to be hard to really make it work in a grid draft. So I think I am going to take the world's best disfigure. And we'll see if some of these other cards get played. It's possible.
We in the same colors, bro.
Hey, that's how grid drafting works.
Step bro, why are we in the same colors?
Boop, boop, boop. I need to get a less fancy Mutavault.
Why?
Just stands out. I know most people like to foil their cubes. I like to defoil my cube. Okay, this is my pick, right?
Would you like a much better fungal infection?
That's a pretty good fungal infection, but I think at this point I do need to start taking some lands. Although those lands don't really line up quite right for me.
Yeah, you're not playing red at all.
Yeah. I think I'm gonna.
Oh,
take
come
them
on! Take
anyway.
Deadweight Mutavault! You're killing me here! Jeez, savage. Just trying to make us both have bad
A
decks.
Savage cube.
They're ridiculous. All right, I'm getting Deadweight Mutavault, Goblin Engineer. I'm not excited about any of these cards except for Deadweight. Anthony's cutting me savagely. Doesn't care.
I don't care, and I am doing it intentionally. So what I really like about grid draft is, maybe I've said this every time, but a lot of two-player draft formats just try and emulate a two-player format and like add some hidden
Emulate
information
a
back
regular draft format.
emulate like an 8-person pod, and that's tough. But the other thing, obviously, about a two-player format is you don't have that extra hidden information. Like everything is known about what we're taking. So I like that grid draft just sort of embraces that and says, hey, there is some randomness introduced by the fact that you're taking 2 or 3 cards at once, but that's balanced by the fact that we both know all of each other's picks. So hate drafting is real.
I'm going to take this Creeping Tar Pit and Rix Matty Reveler and end up with an incidental Fiend Hunter I don't plan on playing. But I've been high on Rix Matty Reveler in this environment. Creeping Tar Pit is going to help me fix for my what appears to be a very light blue splash because Anthony will not stop taking blue cards.
Light purple.
But I'm definitely playing this Master of Death. I cannot be stopped. Lemem is with you on the no foil train.
Nice. I don't dislike foils, but specifically for this cube, like I want to be able to treat it like garbage.
Well,
And
it's not worth anything.
Not worry about it. I mean, also like the foils can curl and they kind of stand out in the stack and stuff like that.
That's true.
All right, I don't expect to be playing these. Actually, I think actually it's pretty
refuses to play
reasonable
green.
if I do end up playing green, but not red, just to put a bounce land in your deck that is off color.
Refuses to play green.
So we could do that. We might jump into
Yeah,
green here.
it's worth noting that grid drafting is especially helpful for streaming like this because the draft is face up. So
Yeah.
you're not just looking at Anthony and I looking at packs you can't see. You keep getting all the good packs. I keep getting all the bad packs. That's how I feel.
So this is actually a little bit challenging, though. Bolus of Citadel is pretty cool. Vista would go a long way, But at this point, green is starting to look appealing just in terms of the lands I happen to have picked up. So Earl of Squirrel is definitely something I would be considering playing.
I dare you to play Earl of Squirrel.
But I am going to take
Ah,
this.
you knew you wouldn't do it. I knew you wouldn't play Earl of Squirrel. So I'm not excited about any of these cards. Kara's Celebrant, Scatter to the Winds, and Gutter Snipe are fine playables. I'm not a Kari Zev's Expertise deck. Well, actually, hold on.
Oh?
I did take a Priest of the Forgotten Gods. Do what the cube wants you to do. That's what Anthony says. All right.
Don't say.
Nope. That's what you say. I'm going to take Kari Zev's Expertise and Kara's Celebrant and leave that Gutter Snipe up. All right. Do I get a good pack? So, Leonin Vanguard is another sacrificey thing. But how many things do I have that actually are good to be sacrificed? Still just exactly one Gravecrawler and one Master of Death. And Kari's Expertise kind of counts, because I steal something and then sacrifice it. Heartfire is also a sacrifice outlet. I would love another Prismatic Vista, but I feel light on playables. We are on pack 8. So I think it's got to be Vanguard and Heartfire. We're going to try and make the sacrifice deck work. Gosh dang it.
Wow, I love to see it.
And I'm happy to play this Curate as well if I have enough blue sources to do so. I love me a Grixis deck. Grixis sparks joy.
I think this is a fine time to say I feel comfortable playing Sultai and take a Temple of Abandon and another Vista.
Sorry, white cards.
We've got a bunch of red lands, so we'll see. Maybe we're just playing all this stuff. Okay, we've got some cards. I actually think this card is quite strong. I'm pretty excited about that. I also really like the Poison Tip Archer. It's pretty unassuming, but
The first card, Ren's Run Hydra, is what you're saying you're excited about.
yeah. Poison Tip Archer tends to perform better than you think it will. I don't have a ton of tokens for this Woodland Champion, but sometimes a bear is okay here.
What up, Uncle Me Daddy? Do you expect mostly to reinforce the Ren's Run Hydra or to cast the Ren's Run Hydra?
That's a great question. But I feel like you just the exciting thing about it is you just don't really make that choice. You just like sit on it for the whole game, and if you need to use it as a combat trick, you do. Otherwise, you just get to cast a creature.
I'm taking this Shock and Thing in the Ice. I don't think I'm going to play Thing in the Ice, but Shock I'm happy to play. And the rest of these cards are not appealing to me.
Thing in the Ice has not been great.
Feldon is
be
technically...
honest.
oh man, these headphones are falling apart in my hands.
Yeah.
Feldon kind of a combo, a little bit with the things I have going on, except so expensive. So expensive.
I think Feldon is getting better though, because I've cut a lot of the other like more powerful cards.
Interesting.
So he is a value engine. It's your pick, right?
Yeah, it's my pick.
Yeah,
Here,
take your
I'm ignoring all the green cards, so looking at Opt, Maze Mind Tome, Mirage Mirror, and Familiar's Ruse. I think it's going to be Opt and Maze Mind Tome for me. Though I got to say, I feel more drawn to this card since doing broken things with it in the Turbo Cube.
It's not as broken here as there.
Oh, no. Is it playable here? Has anyone ever put it in a deck?
I've never seen it.
I don't think I've ever seen anybody put it in a deck.
All right, we don't need a
It's
Temple
cool, though.
Garden. Ambuscade is kind of cool, but let's take more green cards. We got a Hungering Hydra, a Pelt Collector, and the Mirage Mirror, which we'll consider playing.
Oop, sorry, get these out of your way. What's it going to be, Anthony?
So, I feel like what I really do need is that Temple of Plenty, and I'm not interested in much else. I
That's
feel
a
like
Temple of Malady.
that's the one. Phyrexian Tower is something I added a little while ago, which like is kind of like there's no other fast mana here, but I think it's played out pretty well. Like in this environment, it's much more creature focused. Sacrificing a creature is actually a pretty high cost, and there's nothing like super busted that you're going to combo off and just win.
I think it's pretty balanced.
So I think it ends up being pretty balanced, which is very cool to me. I should probably swap this with the new boarded version that's in some other cube.
We got a question,
You would
Anthony.
probably play this Lavamancer, so I'm going to take that.
I would, except I'm taking the Flare Husk and the Phyrexian Tower. We got a question from Cherry Magnolia. What do we think of Gaedrone Dihada? Is that how you pronounce that new Grixis Planeswalker?
I have not read it carefully, is what I think about it.
Yeah, the question is, what do we think about it in like Fairmax, powerful, unpowered Fairmax environments? I think the card's really strong, or very strong, not really, really strong. But I don't like the play patterns, which are largely fairly non-interactive. And this is just me. That's what I remember thinking about the card when I read it the first time. I can't, as I sit here today, tell you exactly what the card does. I know that the plus basically prevents all damage that a target permanent would deal to you until your next turn, or maybe forever. Puts a counter on it and it can't deal damage to you anymore or something. And then you can steal stuff eventually. It's just basically like a Pillow 40 Planeswalker, which I don't like to encourage. And I believe it upticks to a pretty high loyalty, if I remember correctly. All right, so I really want that Canyon Slough. By want, I mean need. I need the Canyon Slough. I have so many ways to sacrifice things, Anthony, and not very many things to sacrifice, which is a problem. But I'll just sacrifice the Hobble Fiend, which I don't think is a very good sacrifice outlet anyway. So I'm taking Hobble Fiend, Plumb the Forbidden, and Canyon Slough for my Rakdos.
Yeah.
My wet Rakdos sacrifice deck.
All right, so here's what I'm wondering. I have these blue cards over here. I think that's a mistake, and I need to switch over to some red cards because my red fixing has actually turned out to be a lot better. Crater Maker is fine, and Drag Under is very solid.
So anyway, in summary about Dihada, I think it's a good card. I think it would pull its weight power level wise in Fairmax environments, but it does not have play patterns that I'm looking to encourage. So it's not on my radar personally.
Ooh. Ooh. Wow.
No matter what signals I try and read, Anthony just comes into my colors no matter what.
Yeah. Pretty much.
Just give us both bad decks, that's fine.
This is tough. I really want one of these Vistas. I actually really also want Angrath, though, and Rancor is quite strong. But I think I might just need some beef to finish you off, and just leaning into the red at this point might be fine.
That's my color!
I also don't hate Thrash Threat, though. Alright, this is starting to look a little better. I feel better about this.
Counting my duels
Probably
right now.
We'll probably cut the Bolas' Citadel.
My fixing is not good, but we're playing grid draft. The games will be slow, I think. Because I really want this Angrath. It's 2 creatures to sacrifice, and also just good value on its own. So, I don't know. I think I really need that Vista, though. Let's see. How many playables am I at? That's a good time to count playables. We have what? 5 packs left? 4 packs left. I don't know what this number means. It's very annoying. How many packs do we have left?
5.
Okay. 5 packs left. Let me see how many playables I have.
Including this one.
So 4 packs left.
I don't know what this number means.
I'm doing okay on playables, actually. So I think I got to take this Vista. Maybe I'll play this Thrash out of the sideboard.
Wow, the card we both wanted gets pitched.
Oh, you need to take fixing.
It's true.
Fixing important. This is the regular cube. What kind of non-standard Planeswalker gameplay have you seen from Dihada? To me, it seems like peak Planeswalker gameplay in the sense that people just got to interact with it or lose. All right, not much of my colors here. A Village Rites, a Shelldock Isle, a Reign of Revelation. And a Blink Moth Nexus, which I'm not going to play. Also, not much in Anthony's colors, to be fair, because Anthony came over to my colors. He gets the green cards, though, which are good. He's going to take Waker of the Wilds and Greater Sandworm, I imagine. Am I going to play Shelldock Isle? I don't know. Probably not, but I don't think you're going to play Hero of Lana Tower, so not worth cutting you on that.
I'm going to take Greater Sandworm and Waker the Wilds, and I think at this point I'm going to cut Bolus the Citadel. My deck's not looking like it has much of a plan, but that's kind of how grid draft can go.
That's not how it has to go. You don't have to cut your friend Andy on every single pack.
But I'm trying to win. Hoopo. We could play an island in a Hoopo. I also like Red Cap, although my curve is a little high. Do I want to Wreck Sage? I didn't see you take any super potent enchantments or artifacts.
I don't have to show you.
Uh-huh, yeah.
I don't have to show.
I do like off-color bounce lands, but I think I've got enough. They do start to become a liability eventually. So I think I'm just going to take this Red Cap and probably not playing the Basilica, but let's get that Canyon in there.
I would like an Ash Barrens, but I need more creatures. I have so few things to sacrifice right now in my sacrifice deck, so I think I have to take this Frost Trickster. And I guess maybe this Mirror Retriever that gets back very, very little. Ooh, I like that one. That one's okay. I like that land. Hey, wait, here's all the cards I need for my deck. Alright, the cards I want most are Fixing Land, Baron, and Weaponcraft Enthusiast. And
Can't take a triangle.
I'm fine playing Blood Aspirant or Dark Dweller Oracle or Lesser Masticore. Lots of playables here. I really need that Fixing Land, I think. Which is sad, because I also really want that Weaponcraft Enthusiast. That's probably the best non-land card for me in this pack. This Direfleet Daredevil, I'm not going to do anything. Alright. Things to sacrifice. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to count Karyzev's Expertise as a thing to sacrifice. And then 5... Ugh. Oh man, this is bad. Bad. I think I need to take the Weaponcraft Enthusiast.
I love to hear that.
But the Temple, though. I think thing's still not very good. I think I'm going to win more games by casting slightly worse spells than by not casting better spells. So, here it is. Baron, Tolarian Archmage, Temple of Epiphany, and a Lesser Masticore. Which is actually kind of something. With Mirror Retriever, kind of.
I'm going to take these 3 cards in my colors and think about it. I'm probably not going to play all these.
2 packs left?
2 packs left.
I don't know how I'm supposed to win the game, actually.
Oh, this is me, sorry. I'm pretty light on removal. So Fire Prophecy is a little bit appealing. This Plague Belcher also does stuff. But I'm also light on cheap creatures to throw at it. And not doing any zombie stuff. I don't think you're playing a Depose Deploy. You might be playing a Brainstorm. So I think net best for me is to take this Fire Prophecy.
I'll just take the Plague Belcher.
Yup.
It's fine, not great. Maybe I get to loop it with some Gravecrawler nonsense. I get first pick on the last pack. All right, well, I gotta take Mayhem Devil Ulcerate. I was pretty excited about Kari Zev, which does give me a token I can sacrifice every turn I can attack with her, which is a fair number of turns on account of the Menace and the First Strike. But I can't not take Mayhem Devil Ulcerate. Those are two very good cards for my deck.
So the problem is, I think I'm going to end up cutting most of the cheap red stuff, so I'm also a little bit skeptical about Kari Zev. Although, there are a couple outs for it to do stuff with my deck. My mana's pretty damn good. I also kind of like Metallic Mimic. I mean, you play that and then a Weapon Craft Enthusiast. It's like 2 mana to add 4 power to the board. That's pretty good.
Yeah, shout out to Mimic for, I could have potentially tried to put together a very clunky Persist combo with Metallic Mimic. But that has never actually worked in this cube once. So
It actually has worked once now.
Oh?
Braden drafted Persist combo.
Did it work?
It worked really well round 1. That's the data we got.
Ulcerate is so good. I love Ulcerate.
Yeah.
All right, Anthony, you're on deck building cam. But first, tell me what your name of your deck is. Andy's deck. Should we call it?
Yeah, that's not confusing at all.
Give me your deck name. What you got?
Let's see what we got here.
I'm going to call myself Wet Rakdos Sacrifice.
Okay, cool. Then I guess this is a Hot Golgari.
We've heard Cedric complain that deck names make no sense, and we're here to make very logical, sensible deck names.
Yeah,
Everyone
logical,
can
sensible.
hear and determine exactly what the deck is doing. All right, Hot Golgari. Let's watch your deck build.
All right, let me look at my lands first. So I'm pretty good with these 3 vistas. That's going to go a long way. I'm heavier in the red-green than anything else.
Great question, Drew. Let me try right now and see what happens.
And then I have 2 other red, what do we call them? Horizon lands, which... So ordinarily I'm pretty high on just playing these, but because they're in sort of my secondary color, and I definitely want to include at least 1 mountain to be able to fetch, I might end up not playing those, depending on how many basics of other lands. But I feel pretty good about this mana base.
I can't remember how to bring up the emoji keyboard. Figured it out.
26. So I actually only want to make 2 cuts from this. This might be a little bit rough.
Emojis don't work. You'll have to wonder what that emoji I put in Anthony's deck name is for the rest of time.
Oh, no.
It might actually work if I change the font that we're rendering the deck names in. But... yeah, right. Let's see what we got here.
All right, so I'm just looking for 2 cuts. Claim the Firstborn does nothing here. Is there another cheap red thing I can cut? Probably this Blood Aspirant. Whenever you sacrifice a permanent, it does work with lands. All right, so unfortunately we still have a bunch of cheap red stuff, but Channeler can still do stuff later in the game. Definitely same with Lavamancer and Crater Maker, so Kari Zev is really the thing that needs to come out on turn 2, and I still have a decent chance of doing that. So let's call that a deck. Let's get some lands.
That was fast, Anthony.
Yeah.
Too fast. I'm still working over here.
Let's double count here. So I am going to play 16 lands, which sounds dubious with this, like, not great spread of cards, set of, whatchamacallit, mana situation, but I do have a bunch of bounce lands. 2 bounce lands only. and some temples, so...
All right, while you're doing
leaves
basics,
me-
I'll switch over to my deck view. Welcome to Wet Rakdos, everybody. The most upsetting deck name
It's pretty bad.
anyone's ever heard. I'm just laying out all the cards that I'm willing to play here, and then I'm going to count them and figure out where I'm at with my life. My mana ended up all right. It's decent, is what I would say, especially for black. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. All right, I got room for some cuts here. And also, on the fringe of playability, we have Mirror Retriever, which is really far on the fringe of playability, given that my only artifact that goes to the graveyard on its own is Maze Mind Tome. But being able to loop a Lesser Masticore with a Mirror Retriever and a sack outlet doesn't sound awful, but I think it's too far on the fringe. So, what my deck is doing is curving up to 3 and no higher, which I think is not good in this environment, in this particular grid draft of this cube. I think I'm going to wish I had a few bigger threats to finish out the game. And I'm trying to sacrifice stuff for value. The main things I'm looking to sacrifice being Master of Death, Gravecrawler, and stuff I steal from Anthony with Karizev's expertise. Yeah. The actual sack outlets are Priest of the Forgotten Gods, Heartfire, Plumb the Forbidden, Village Rites, and there's one more. Hobble Fiend, technically, Leonid Vanguard. Leonid Vanguard's pretty good. Better than Hobble Fiend, I think. Gonna make a couple cuts here. Do you have basics handy? Are they within reach of you?
They are.
Can
What
you
is Legion Vanguard?
That's the sacrifice one.
Oh, Legion Vanguard.
Oh, I said the wrong thing
I
a
was
million
like,
times.
There's cats in here?
I said the wrong thing a million times.
Would you like me to hand you the box or give you...
Just give me a stack of islands and mountains and swamps. All right, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. So let's go 1 here, and now we have 5 of every source. Blue is kind of a splash, but I'm trying to play Baron, which is maybe a little suspect. But I think Baron's also one of the better cards in my pool. Yikes. So my fear about this deck is I'm going to have all Village Rites and Plumb the Forbiddens and Heartfires in hand and nothing to sacrifice. This is my fear.
Plumb the Forbidden you can just cycle, though, right?
Yes, Plumb the Forbidden is very good, and that doesn't have as bad of a fail case. All right, so can I ever flip Thing in the Ice in this deck? That's my best win condition if I can actually do it. But actually doing it seems pretty suspect. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 spells that trigger it. So I have to draw like half of them, assuming I start with an early Thing in the Ice. A lot of them are draw spells, which is good because I'll be able to draw into more spells. If the game ends up being grindy, it can be pretty good. I think just in terms of the worst cards in my deck, in terms of playability, I think it's like Lesser Masticore, Hobble Fiend, Flare Husk. Those cards are pretty bad, but those are also all things that can be sacrificed. I'm hesitant to cut more sacrifice fodder. All right, I think I got to be responsible and just cut this Baron. I'm not going to get to double blue reliably. I'm eating my vegetables over here. Oh, I forgot. I have a Phyrexian Tower as a sacrifice outlet, too.
Phyrexian Tower is also a pretty cool sacrifice outlet in that it can be used as a mana ability. You can use it at weird times. I'm trying to remember the specific case. Oh, you can use it in the middle of resolution of Karizev's expertise, which is funny.
What can you use in the middle of resolution? Phyrexian Tower because it's the mana ability?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Pretty sure. I think that was... I remember we had a very weird case with Phyrexian Tower and confirmed it.
Mana abilities can't be responded to, but I don't think you can do them when you don't have priority.
I'm trying to remember how it would actually even be relevant with Karizev's expertise.
I don't think I'm going to run out of sacrifice outlets, And so Hobble Fiend I'm pretty low on, I think. Flare Husk is probably worse, but I have nothing else at 1 mana. So I want some 1 mana stuff I can sacrifice. So I'm going to give Hobble Fiend the axe for that reason. That's 24. Maze Mind Tome is not great in this deck. This is not really a Maze Mind Tome deck.
Oh, how is there a deck that's not a Maze Mind Tome deck?
Drew is saying you can activate mana abilities while you're paying costs for things.
Right.
Is the weird time you could do it. But that would not be in the middle of Carrie's
No, I'm
expertise
actually trying to
resolving.
think about why that would have mattered with that card, and I don't think that was the case. That was...
I don't want to play 17 lands with this low of a curve, though I do have a lot of card advantage. Let's go 16. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I got 6 slots left. You'll find out on our next episode of Lucky Paper, which comes out on Monday, that my little technique for building mana bases, which Anthony thinks is puzzling and bad, and he's probably right.
I don't think it's bad. It is puzzling.
Is first thing I do is take all of my non-basic mana sources, and then add enough basics to bring my colored sources to be even across the board. So with 2 mountains and an island, I have the same number of blue, red, and black mana sources in my deck. And now with my remaining 6 lands, I'm going to take those 6 lands and divide them basically based on how my spells break down. And the way my spells break down is I want more
when you're dealing
black.
with the dual lands that count for multiples, like obviously if you were just dealing with one color lands, you just stack them up and look at them, but it's hard to figure out like, okay, well, how many sources of each do you have? So I do see where you're coming from, where it's like, yeah, let's just make that even, so you take that aspect out of the equation.
Right,
thinking
exactly.
about the rest of it.
So I'm going to go 3 swamps because I feel like I have more black than anything, and especially a lot of cheap black spells I want to be able to multi-spell. And then only 1 island. I'm pretty light on blue. Double red because mostly of Carrie's expertise is what I'm going to do there. So, yeah, so I ended up adding more mountains than anything, which I think you might not expect if you looked at this pool. But that's because I had to add a couple mountains to get mountains even to be even with the rest of my mana sources. That's my weird little
Do you
hack.
count this as a black source?
I do.
Okay.
It's a little, it's a greedy black source, but it's a black source. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Just as we drew it up. All right. See how this goes. I'm not playing Field of Ruin or Mutavault or this off-color bounce land, I don't think.
Oh, really?
Well, maybe I can't. Maybe I can't.
I don't want to
afford
make
play this
your
off-color
deck
bounce
better,
land.
but I think the off-color bounce land, especially the first one,
Yeah,
That's strong.
I think I should play Visco Guard Route Farm over the 3rd swamp.
if you get punished by it, I'm sorry.
I will, but I also won't some games, probably. Alrighty. Back to the head-to-head view. Anthony's back. You have a sleepy dog.
She's completely asleep.
Hey, wait, hold on a sec.
Oh, you're going to show everybody my messy basement? I'm embarrassed.
It's dog. She's sweet. Your basement's not messy.
It looks like a storage room right now, because that's kind of what it is.
Yeah, it is a storage room, but it's a clean storage room. Alright. Get this camera back on Anthony. Shall we roll? Save my good rolls for now. Ooh, barely. I'll take the play.
Sounds good.
How do you feel about your deck, Anthony? Let's do some predicting.
Okay, it doesn't have like a plan, but I think that something's going to come together every game. Which
My
is
deck-
the correct way to play Magic, right?
My deck does have a plan, but I think I lack suitable win conditions. I think I'm going to go 1-2, maybe 0-2. That's my feeling.
I'm okay with that.
I think I'm going to draw the wrong half of my deck. Very important to roll D20 and not those evil spin downs.
These are spin downs.
That's a spin down?
Yep.
Well, Drew thought it was a regular D20. Sorry, Drew.
We got you.
All right, want to show your hand, Anthony? I'm going first. I'll show my hand first. I think it's more clear that way. All right. Let's see how this looks. I will keep this opening hand. I'm going to let chat take a peek at it. It's a little bit heavy on these, but these are all fine. And so we must keep.
All right, this is going to be embarrassing because I'm going to keep this. Andy would never keep this hand, but I have reasoning.
You beat me with a lot of hands I would never keep. That's my memory of.
This gives us a little bit of flexibility.
arc.
We're on the draw, and we're playing a pretty land-light deck to begin with. So I think, and we have a little bit of interaction here technically. So
Did you just keep a 6-land hand? Is that what you're saying? You said you're playing a land light deck anyway. Sounds like a 6-land hand you're
it's
keeping there,
gonna be
buddy.
fine.
Are you ready for Magic?
I'm ready.
I'm gonna lead. Oop, switch the camera back. There we go. I'm gonna lead on an island,
Okay.
and I'm gonna say go.
I'll play a Temple of Abandon.
I respond to the trigger by casting Opt.
Okay. Almost right.
I will keep that on top and draw a card.
I'm gonna scry to the bottom and say go.
I will untap. I will draw a card. I'll play a mountain. I'll play a Careless Celebrant.
Cool.
Pass the turn.
Untap. Draw.
Magic, Lemem. Magic.
Play a Woodland Champion and say go.
Untap. Draw a card. I don't think I'm winning the long game, so let's go ahead and shock that Woodland Champion.
Oh, what a disappointment.
I'll attack you for 2.
I'll take 2.
Put you to 18. And then I'm going to play a Golgari Rot Farm and pick up this island and say go.
Oh, man. Wow. All right, let's start thinning this deck before I run out of basics. Go to 17.
I knew you kept a 6-lander. And you drawn more lands.
Let's get a forest. And I'm at 17.
17.
And then I will play a Weaponcraft Enthusiast,
Sure.
Fabricate 2, and regret that you killed my dude. Pass turn.
I'm going to regret that you got Weaponcraft Enthusiast and not me. I wanted that card.
I wanted to turn my Woodland Champion into a 4/4. But what are you going to do now?
Go to combat. Attack for 2.
Yeah, I'll block with the servo.
All right, when it dies, I'll kill you with a servo.
Yep.
Play a Mayhem Devil
Sure.
and an island and say go.
So whenever anyone sacrifices a thing...
Any permanent, I deal 1 damage to any target.
Yeah. That's a thing.
Maybe I'm not supposed to be trading aggressively because I'm going to draw Village Rights and other Village Rights.
Play a swamp and a Sling-Gang.
How are you just curving out over here?
What? You just...
You said I'm keeping a hand Andy would never keep, and then proceed to curve out.
Correct, yeah.
Rude.
I knew this was going to work out. I really wish I had
You make 3 goblins when you play that thing?
Sorry, it's only 2, isn't it?
It's
just
3 seems like a lot. But
Yeah.
I don't know. I haven't read the card.
And I will say go.
Untap. Draw. And you can sacrifice just to deal damage to target player, right?
Correct, and I gain a life.
Hmm. Play a mountain.
Okay. I mean, the hand wasn't going to curve out before I cleverly scried another land to the bottom and then
Go to combat.
drew more cards.
In for 3.
Do I just want to try and trade for that? Or do I want to do a chump? Or do I just take 3?
Those are the options as I see them as well.
Yeah. It seems you have so many cards in hand. It seems unlikely I'll actually get away with the trade. So
Andy would never keep a hand that curves out.
I'm just going to not block.
All right, you take 3, go to 14.
Excellent.
I'm not sure what I'm supposed to do here.
How do you feel about that raw farm now?
It's fine. It would have been fine if it was another land too.
Sure.
Did not play in this game. I have an interesting choice actually here. I think I'm just gonna do this now.
Rain of Revelation?
I'll
No, you didn't
spectacle cost Rick's Madly Reveler.
Ooh, that's cool.
Discard land, Priest of the Forgotten Gods, which
Okay.
seems like not the best
Okay.
card for me right now. To draw 3. All right, and then I'll pass the turn.
All right, I'll untap. Draw a card. I think I'm going to let you...
Wasn't card advantage, but it was nice card selection. Would have been card advantage if the raw farmer just been a swamp.
I guess, no, I have to play that, right? Yeah. All right, I'll play Prismatic Vista.
You play a 5-drop, I'm gonna flip this table.
I'll crack the Vista. Got 13.
13 it is.
I'm not going to let you miss your trigger.
I will deal 1 damage to Slinglane Lieutenant.
I thought you would. I'll throw it at your face.
All right, so you drain me, or
Yeah, so you lose 1, I gain 1.
you go back up to 14. I go to 19.
Unfortunate, but I think I had to do that. I will cast Kari Zev,
I heard her.
and I will cast a Goblin Crater Maker, and pass the turn.
I'll untap. I will draw. I'll
Oh,
cast
hi, James.
Kari Zev's expertise targeting Kari Zev.
Yeah,
She got hoisted by her own expertise.
unfortunate. You're going to cast a small spell?
I am.
Begrudgingly.
Yeah. I'll cast Heartfire. Sacrificing Kari Zev.
Oh, man.
Dealing 4 damage to you.
Oh, man. This is rude. Yeah, I'll take 4, go to 10. I think that casting Kari Zev's expertise on Kari Zev is kind of a flavor win. It's like, oh, you know that move too? You know I invented
No,
that.
I did miss a Mayhem Devil trigger when you sack Sling Lieutenant. That's my own fault.
Oh, you're right.
That's
I
my
forgot.
own
I remembered
fault.
the land one, but I forgot the Sling Gang. Oof, that's kind of rough. Do you want to kill another goblin?
Yeah, I'll dead weight the Crater
Or
Maker.
you're going to do that? This card. I mean, I'll trade a 1/1 for your 2/2, so I'll shoot that.
All right, and then that will die
Yeah.
in response to the Mayhem Devil trigger. Go to combat.
Yeah.
Attack for 3.
Take 3, going to 7.
I will pass the turn.
All right, here's where I draw something, rip something big off the top. That is not that. I'm not going to die next turn. Let's get in for 1.
The Dink Dink Man. I go to 18.
Great. I'll play a Temple of Melody. Oof, that is so medium. Let's ship it. And say go.
I'll untap. I will draw. Go to combat.
You're in combat.
Attack for 3.
Andy loves combat tricks. Flourishing Strike, +3/+3. Whoopsie.
I'll ulcerate it.
Yeah. Should have blocked first because now I'm taking another 3.
I'm also taking 3. I go to 15. You go to 4. And say go.
All right. Really should have blocked first. That was a mistake. Well, play Grim Lavamancer and say go.
It's pretty good.
Because then I would have a life cushion where I wouldn't have to chump here.
Yeah, it'd be better if you had a life cushion. I'll attack for 3.
I'll block.
All right. I knew this card was going to be bad. Maybe just a random 2-drop is better. Thing in the ice.
You got it.
Can I get 4 counters, please? Do you have any regular counters or not plus and plus one
you're right.
counters? Regular counters. Do you have a regular dice?
Regular counters.
Regular dice.
And you're passing?
I am passing.
Play a Fiery Islet. Crack it.
Take 1 to Lavamancer.
No. I keep forgetting about this. So if I pay red, I've already played my land for turn. There's something in my deck that costs 5, and doing 2 to you does nothing, and I can't actually kill that, so I will not activate Lavamancer. Draw a card. Shh, that's not nothing.
Not nothing.
Play a Murderous Redcap.
Sure.
Deal 2 to you.
I go to 13.
And pass the turn.
Untap. That blocks for a while is the annoying thing. Flare Husk.
Sure.
Make it to Germ. Don't worry about the Germ, actually, because you're just going to ping the Germ when Murderous Redcap dies anyway. So I'm just going to go ahead and
Probably, yeah.
equip it to make my Mayhem Devil be safe.
Okay.
And I will go to combat and attack you for 4.
Yeah, I'll block.
All right, and then deal 1 to me.
Yes.
I go to 12.
Can I get a minus 1? Can I have the bag of dice back? Or you want to find a minus counter? All right, and anything else?
And someone pointed out that was the reason to deal 2 to the devil with the Grim Lavamancer. If you had hit it with Lavamancer before you drew Redcap, you could have just killed the devil.
I was not thinking about Murderous Redcap at all. Yeah,
That's very,
I was thinking
very
drawing,
narrow out, but it is an out.
Drawing a
Go ahead.
creature to block is much more likely. But that's not untrue. All right, well, here we are. Here's a forest.
Just a sandworm?
Here's a big guy.
Oh, no, big Hydra.
Big Hydra. And I'll pass the turn.
Well, welcome to me not winning the game anymore. Wait, this is fine. Creeping Tar Pit.
Yep, that'll do it.
We'll win in no time, friends. Pass the turn.
Yeah, I mean, you just put the Flare Husk on it.
Yeah.
Huh. So I have a blocker for that. I can't block that. So you have 1 card in hand.
I do.
Let's see if this resolves. Cast the Lampad.
Sacrifice a creature. Each opponent loses 1 life, and you gain 1 life. Yeah, you have a Lampad.
All right, I'll go to combat. Attack you for 6.
You're going to survive for a turn.
Mm-hmm.
No, you're not. All right, I'll chump.
Am I not? Okay. I'll say go.
I'll untap. I'll draw. Play a swamp. Animate the tar pit.
Oh, I don't because I sacrificed and you ping me for
exactly.
one. God damn it.
Move the flare husk and you die.
That's... All right. No one played that card in this cube for the longest time.
I've never played it before, ever. That's the first time I've ever cast a Mayhem Devil, and it felt good.
Yeah.
Guess what I'm cutting?
Mayhem Devil.
Thing in the eyes. Get that piece of trash.
Please
out
cut
of here.
Mayhem Devil.
So much better to play anything else with power.
Last
I even
draft.
announced it in deck building too. Where is my sideboard? Is this my sideboard? Here it is.
We gotta get
Here it
better
is.
at not missing Mayhem Devil triggers, though. 'Cause
Yeah, that is
there's
embarrassing.
just so many
It's so
in-
embarrassing to miss
incidental
triggers.
things that-
Period. I think I'm playing Hobble Fiend over Mirror Retriever. Where did my? I guess I kept the Masticore in. I think I did. Because these are off-color cards. Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of effects that are secretly sacrificing things, or not secretly, but you just forget.
Yeah. It's like
You just forget. I was on the draw there too. No, I was on the play. All right, are you on the play again, Anthony? Or are you on the play for the first time now?
yes. I feel like I made a lot of little mistakes, which is a good thing for this format that is trying to be spiky. Like the
Mostly
fact
just
that a
sacrificing
lot
that
of those
land.
sacrificing the land also. Wait, which lands? did I
The
sacrifice?
islet to kill the Grim Lavamancer. I think was your
Yes.
only punt.
Yeah, that was a pretty big
at
punt.
least that I saw.
I mean, I also should have blocked before casting the combat trick, which that's one of my favorite things about like combat focused formats is like those kinds of decisions do really matter.
But when would you ever not block first? Like you say, the decision matters, but it's just a heuristic. You just
Well,
always
yeah,
block
okay.
first.
I feel like there are situations.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Show the people your hand, Anthony.
All right, this hand is a lot better.
You curved out last game.
I know, but I got very lucky with my draws. We got
Must be
some
nice.
stuff we can do. We've actually got a bunch of castable stuff, so a removal spell is going to be a problem, but other than that,
So you're keeping.
I'm keeping.
And then my opening hand here is fine. Combination of these two things will make things better, I think, as we go. So I can't not keep this hand, I think. I think card advantage is important in this environment, and I don't want to go to 6. Take it away, Anthony.
All right. Yeah, and sacrificing Sling Gang definitely also wasn't worth a life to lose another chump blocker.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to play this Vista.
Oh, reset life totals. I'm glad you did something
Reset
immediately
life
to remind me to
totals.
reset life totals, because I'm so annoyed when I watch the videos back and everything's out of sync.
We're going to get a Forest.
Last time I didn't turn off autofocus on the camera, which I have to do every single time I plug it into my computer because Logitech makes awful software and nobody in chat told me. And so there was autofocusing in and out the whole time, which is very frustrating.
Yeah.
sorry, everybody.
You have a job. Tell us when we're screwing up. Then I'm going to play a Pelt Collector and say go.
Yikes! Draw a card. See, this is what I'm afraid of. This is what I'm afraid of in this deck. Don't look. Well, I guess you probably know what I'm afraid of, so it doesn't matter. Temple of Epiphany, scry 1, keep that on top, pass the turn.
Untap. Draw. Ooh. Slightly punishing, but that'll be fine. Let's go to combat. Techie for 1.
I have no blocks. Are you going to
Play
flash in something?
Canarium. And say go.
You don't have to discard because you played it. You're on the...
Correct.
Yeah, all right.
On the
draw.
play and a cast a spell.
I'll play a Swamp. And a Gravecrawler.
Cool.
And pass the turn.
Draw. Let's play a Forest. Gravecrawler can't block, right?
Gravecrawler cannot block.
It's a zombie. Zombies are dumb. 3 mana, cast a Scurry Oak. This, when creature enters battlefield, only counts power. That's
Does not
unfortunate.
work.
Yeah. Oh well. Techie for 1.
I go to 18.
It's almost evolve. Pass the turn.
I'll cast Opt on your end
Sure.
step. Scry 1. Let's keep that on top. And draw. Untap. Draw. Go to combat.
Yes.
Attack for 2.
No blocks.
You sure?
Correct.
You sure?
Mm-hmm.
You don't want to block with the Scurry Oak?
No.
Could be good. Could be good.
Try it. You might like it.
Play a swamp.
Okay. I really like that swamp in the middle right there.
It's a good one. It's a really good one.
It's probably one of my favorite swamps. What do you think, Sadie? You asleep?
I will pass the turn
Ooh,
and clench my cheeks.
don't like the sound of that.
Why don't you like the sound of that?
The sound of you clenching your cheeks.
I'm just worried you're going to play a 3-3 and I'm going to lose.
I'm not going to play a 3-3.
You play a 2-2 and I'll lose.
Is it worth me casting this other spell if... So this is another place where the bounce lands can be a little punishing, that they don't let you use your mana at different times.
That's my least favorite thing about them. It's like the signet effect.
Yeah. So I'm going to go ahead and make some mana, leave a black floating, cast Carry Zev.
So this will trigger the Scurry Oak, but it will not trigger the Pelt Collector.
Correct.
Carry Zev on the stack. Let's Lightning Strike the Scurry Oak.
I think I can't do anything about that. Sad. This does trigger on die, but it still is small, so that does nothing. Let's use my floating black and fungal inspection your Gravecrawler. Oh,
I will Village Rites it.
Cool.
Draw 2.
not getting a lot of value out of that, but I want to get on the board. Man, I've had such great token stuff lined up both these games, and you just shut me down. Let's stack you for 1.
Go to 17. 17
And
all.
Sego. No token because it was sacrificed. You are
Yep,
correct.
it's countered.
Thank you.
It is countered. Draw a card. Play an island. Play a Master of Death.
Sure.
Gonna Surveil 2. Thing is, I think I want both of these. Is the thing. I'm in the tank. So what am I doing next turn if I play that? I'll do that. That seems fine. All right, I'll keep them both on top in that order, and I'll cast a Gravecrawler.
Sure.
And I will pass the turn.
Draw a card.
Master of Death, it's happening.
I'll go to combat.
Master of Death
Attack.
Gravecrawler is happening.
Trigger. Trigger at long last.
Block, block.
Cannot block.
Cannot block. Cool and chill. We'll block the Pelt Collector and take 3.
I will, after blocks, Flourishing Strike the Pelt Collector.
Okay.
+3/+3.
Sure.
And you take 3. And
I go to 14.
I'll pass the turn.
All right. I'll untap. I will pay 1 life on my upkeep to draw Master of Death.
Yeah, Master of Death is going to be a problem.
I don't know.
What's your life total?
13.
I mean, in this format, I don't know if it's a good idea.
I'll
But
draw.
I like that it's a zombie.
So what can be done now? What does the card do?
Which card?
I'm reading both of these cards.
Sure. Might have been an aggressive use of a combat trick rather than not developing my board, but I'm still only at 3 mana, which makes it a little hard. Master of Death. Wow.
Master of Death. Surveil 2. I know what the top one is. I will bin this mountain. Keep that on top. Then I got a little thinking to do over here for a sec. Got a little thinking to do. I think we can just do this. I'll play the tar pit tapped.
Yeah.
Pass the turn. Oh, no, attack for 2. This can't,
Sure,
this can't
yeah, yeah.
block. Put you 15.
Untaps. Draw. Play a swamp.
You've been stuck on Lance for a minute, so if I can survive for a while, I feel okay about things. See how many more combat tricks you got.
I'll go to combat.
No more combat tricks. I take 3. Oh, I'm sorry. I'll block Ragavan with
Sure.
Master. I'll take 1. Go to 12.
Play a Dryad Green Seeker.
Mm-hmm.
And oops, pass the turn. Where's all my big powerful stuff that's gonna trigger my Pel Collector?
Untap, upkeep, lose a life, draw Master of Death.
Yep.
Go to 11. Draw a card for turn. Play a mountain. Go to combat.
Yes.
Attack for 2.
What kinds of tricks do you have?
You can't block. What am I going to do with it?
That's a great question. I'll trade this for a trick anyway. I'll block.
All right. This dies.
Okay. I play a Mayhem Devil and then sack something. Oh, cool.
Fungal Infection, your Dryad.
Cool.
Green
You were
Seeker.
looking at my
Give
thing.
me
I
a
should have
Saproling.
thought about that. This gets exiled, right?
It does get exiled.
And you can have this Saproling. It's got first strike, right?
Does have first strike. Master of Death, Surveil 2.
Uh-huh. Man, the real power there is that you've dug 6 cards deep into your deck.
That's... I mean, the power is that I've drawn an extra card a bunch of turns. I only surveilled one thing into the yard.
Fair.
It's like a Baleful Strix that's better when it dies than when it enters the battlefield.
Yeah.
Does this say what I think it says? Interdasting. That's very interdasting. Let's bin this Temple of Deceit. I'm thinking about this other card, though. What's my next turn going to be? Do you still think you're the aggro? You're the beatdown is the question. My next turn is going to be... Yeah, I'll keep this on top. This is fine. Right? So I'm going to do that. That. Can I afford to do both? 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Yeah. Okay, I'll keep that on top. And I will say go.
Oof, this poor Pel Collector.
Now what you gonna do, Carrie Zev?
I mean, not attack into your pile of stuff.
What's up, girl?
Sling Gang.
It's pretty good.
Goblins. Go.
Untap. Draw a known card. Play a land for turn. Mayhem Devil.
Ooh. Yeah.
Any responses?
No.
Oh, okay.
That was a despondent. That resolves.
And then the question is, what do I do next? Do I just start getting in there with the Creeping Tar Pit?
Exile a token end of combat. Not gonna
Is
get
it
me.
end of combat or end of turn?
Or is it end of turn?
It is end of combat.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Just making sure it doesn't trigger your Mayhem Devil.
That'd be pretty chill. Pretty chill, as the kids say. Do I want to animate the tar pit or do this other thing?
It's a great question.
You're at 15.
I'm at 15.
Bless you. Silly pig.
Was that a sneeze or was that a dream bark
Animate the tar pit.
that woke you up?
You'll gladly chump block with goblins on the Master of Death. I mean, it's not really helping me that much to
It's 11 turn clock.
I think I'm going to do this. All right. I will also play a Flare Husk.
Okay,
Could I has a germ, please?
of course.
Master of Death is fun. I put Master of Death in my own cube, James. That's how excited I am about it. I think the card is good.
I was just looking at... Oh, you know where it is?
You gave it to me a little while ago.
There it is. I apologize. It's the rules text is wrong. It's supposed to be a Phyrexian germ.
Oh, sure. And with that, I pass the turn.
Okay. Untap. Rip a land. Nope. Do you say sacrifice? Do you say sacrifice? They don't. You have 3 mana up.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm just going to do this right now. I think I'm actually going to do this.
Ah, fuck.
What?
I messed up my turn.
I'm so sorry. I'm going to drag your Mayhem Devil.
I will respond.
Okay. Ooh, wow. Going off.
I don't think I'm going to sacrifice the Master of Death because I do want some blockers this turn
Wow.
that I was planning to initially. I'll sacrifice these 3. Ooh, wait, hold on a sec. If I sacrifice this, it will not trigger itself. How does this work?
Yeah, chat, how does that work?
If I sacrifice, it's in addition to paying its cost. I think I can only sacrifice these 2 if I want to get the triggers, right? Pretty sure that's how that works. Because if I sacrifice the Master of... Well, no, this would track itself. I assume we would also see the other ones that get sacrificed simultaneously.
It triggers itself, chat says.
Which means it must also see the other ones that get sacked simultaneously. So I'll sacrifice these 3 and put 3 triggers on the stack.
Yep. Targeting.
And now you can sacrifice the goblins scot-free because this is now gone.
Mm-hmm.
I will target... Do you have any way to get stuff back from your graveyard? I feel like you probably don't. I'm going to go 1, 2, 3.
Okay, so now if I sacrifice this, it doesn't happen.
It does actually just drain.
So I will just drain you for 1 and lose my pellet collector.
All right, so I go to 10. You go to 16. And then I'm going to draw 3 cards and lose 3 life and go to 7.
Wow.
Okay.
Oh, I also made some mistakes last turn. Oops. I guess actually I didn't really want to play it anyway, so I did that for very good reason. Your go. If you're done doing stuff on my turn.
I think I'm done doing stuff on your turn. It's actually an interesting question.
You got it all straight in your hand?
How many cards do you have in hand?
3.
All right, I'll just untap. I will draw. Play a Phyrexian Tower.
Man, you really got the whole deck.
You watched me draft it?
Yeah. It didn't look as coherent.
Right, I do that. I'll cast Kari Zev's Expertise, targeting Kari Zev again,
Wow.
as I'm obligated to do for flavor reasons.
Uh-huh.
See, you over there just tooting? She's
No,
snoring.
she's snoring.
She's very cute. I will then cast for free a Rix Maddie Reveler.
Okay. no spectacle.
No
as you
spectacle,
are not able to.
which is fine. Enters the battlefield, discard a card. Discard Prismatic Vista. Draw a card.
Let's make these guys look a little bit more menacing. Set up a real defense here.
Let me think about my sequencing now. I think I'm going to save this. I'm not going to send with the Tar Pit this turn.
Are you going to need this?
Yeah, I'm going to need that. I'm going to put the Flayer Husk on Direfleet Daredevil. No. Let's put it on Master of Death.
Yeah.
Seems better.
Flarisk is +1/+1.
Flayer Husk is +1/+1. I will go to combat.
Mm-hmm.
Attack Mega Ragavan.
Mega Ragavan.
I already have it. There you go. Attack like that. So 6, 7, 8.
I have no good blocks. I could double block Master of Death. That's it.
I'm sorry, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, plus 4, 9. Yeah, it's 9.
All right. I think actually double blocking Master of Death is my best option.
We should have drawn 4 and lost 4. I'm so embarrassed by getting triggers wrong.
Oh, because the storm you just counted. Yeah.
I forgot the original version of Plum.
Yep.
Plum the Forbidden. And so did you. We both get a game warning. What's your plan, Anthony?
I'm going to double block the Master. It's 4-2 right now.
It's 4-2.
I will double block it.
All right.
You
take 5.
5. Go to, I believe, 11.
Let the Master of Death trade with the Goblins. You take 5, go to 11.
Man, we're making so many mistakes.
It's so embarrassing.
Hard cube.
Second main phase, I'll sacrifice Carrie Zev to
Sack Outlet already on board.
Phyrexian thing and pay a blue for a Trickster with no value.
Flyers are good.
And I will pass the turn.
All right, I think that feels like game to me. Oof.
I should have cast my... No, it's fine, actually. Whatever. Thank you, Drew, for being a good rules man. I'm sorry we're bad at rules. I'm very embarrassed. One of these days, we'll get a clean match where we don't mess up any rules. Then I can post a video on the main subreddit. And no one will be like, excuse me, you on turn 6 of game 2. That's not what you sound like, Drew. I'm not making fun of you. I'm making fun of Reddit neckbeards. He says with a neckbeard. Got your land.
Trigger. Creepy Tar Pit's a 3/2.
3/2.
So I'm potentially taking a cool 6, 7, 8, 9. I'm at 11. I think it's
Don't forget the Tar Pit.
Yeah, it is 6, 7, 8, 9.
Don't forget the Flayer Husk.
I did forget the Flayer Husk. Mm-hmm. So the problem is, again, this bounce land is kind of getting me where I can't play this and do that, but I think I have to do that. So
I agree, Drew. It is the card's fault.
I will put
Surely the cards are wrong,
forest
not
in
me,
my
the
hand
player.
And say go.
All right, I'll untap.
Shoot, fuck.
Shoot, fuck. Damn it.
I screwed
Pay
up.
1 life to
Screwed
Master
up
of
so
Death.
bad.
Go to 6.
Yeah. You're at 6.
Draw a card. I'm at
That's
6.
great. That was great.
Yeah, you're doing great. You're so close to getting me. Surely you will.
It's possible.
What's the? I feel like I'm very favored from this position, but I don't want to screw up. Is the point?
Fair.
I don't think it's actually worth equipping the Flayer Husk because you're on a 2-turn clock, basically no matter what. I don't think 2 mana is worth the 1 point of damage that's going to grant me. I do think it's worth animating the Creeping Tar Pit, though, because if you have a removal spell, then this attack and next turn is not a 2-turn clock anymore. So I do think I want to animate the Tar Pit.
Uh-huh.
So I will.
Okay.
And then I will go to combat.
Yeah.
And I will attack you for 9.
I'll kill the flyer.
The flyer is down.
Guess who passed the turn and then realized this was non-land, not a destroy target creature. And then I'll take 7.
What would that have destroyed?
The Tar Pit.
Oh.
Really wanted to kill a Tar Pit.
Yeah.
And I, used my bounce lands wrong, so I wasted a mana I could have used. It was real bad.
Oh, no, I clicked a bad thing. All right, you take 7 and
I'm gonna
go to 4. And then in my second main phase, did I really tap the mana that stupidly? That was extremely dumb. Are you serious?
Still a creature. You can sack it to the doodad.
How could I have been so stupid? This is fine. We'll pretend like it was the plan all along. I'll sacrifice Rick's Magic Beverly to Phyrexian Tower for 2 black mana.
Buy followers. Is this guy for real? Is that something you can do?
Oh, I love becoming famous.
I want to be famous.
Anyway, I'm going to cast a Master of Death with that.
Yeah.
And then use the other black mana to cast Gravecrawler. And if that's not enough, then,
Okay.
I mean, whatever.
Okay.
Say go. Oh, Surveil 2. Surveil 2.
Oh, yeah, that's important. Don't mess up. All right, well, I finally get to my 5 mana this turn.
I'm going to go...
Leave a red floating. I can finally cast the Charging Monster Sword from my opening hand that would have triggered my Pelt Collector. And I can also cast this, which I could have cast last turn if I thought about that being non-land. You got it. I'm at 4. You have plenty.
We got big boys. Just put the Flare Husk on the tar pit, probably.
Yeah. Yikes, you stomped me.
Sacrifice deck. Master of Death is good.
Master of Death seems problematic.
I'm not sure I would go so far as problematic just yet, but it was good.
Yeah, I'll leave it in for at least a little while.
I mean, it cost... I'm at 6.
Yeah.
It cost me things.
I actually had some pretty interesting, like in terms of proactive board development standpoint, had some interesting opening hands that you dismantled. Or interesting curves.
I didn't have that much removal, so... It was
But
really the stealing stuff and sacrificing it that was more important,
that
I think.
counts as removal.
Do you want to play again, or should we call it there and do some Turbo Cube games, or what do you want to do?
Um,
Draft again?
I don't know if I have another whole draft.
I probably don't have a
again.
whole other draft because I got to feed this pig at some point.
Can we?
Unless you still have some for
Can
food
we
here.
block Q Tiger 957? They seem like a. What's a good name for a bad person? Real.
I don't know how to do
Sure.
anything. I'm sure I can block them, right? Because I'm the admin of the everything. Right click maybe?
Just consider yourself punished.
Yeah, you're bad.
You're bad.
I can whisper to them. I can add friends. I can ban them. They're banned.
Whisper to them.
The first ban is dropped.
Hell yeah.
The first ban hammer comes down on the Lucky Paper Extreme. Take that, jerks.
It's kind of flattering to be spammed.
James, is this a deck you force all the time? This sacrifice deck?
Not with blue, but I think he will now.
I thought you forced like a largely black zombie thing more than anything. Master of Death is a very good reason to play this deck, I think.
To splash blue.
Yeah, to
Alright,
splash blue in this deck.
What other blue spells are you playing? Opt, yeah.
My fixing's pretty good. I have 8 blue sources
Okay.
for those spells. Which is fine.
What do you have that actually
And I
interacts?
guess this is also kind of a splash and
guess-
very relevant.
Oh, sure. Yeah,
That's a
yeah.
really
That's
good
actually
card.
very worth splashing. What do you have that actually interacts with the graveyard for the surveil reasons?
Just Gravecrawler.
Gravecrawler. Okay.
Nothing else. But
Gravecrawler's good.
Scry with very minor upsides. Good.
Oh, yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
Master of Death also.
Oh, for sure, for
You can
sure.
Put Master of Death in the graveyard off a curate.
Yes, true.
Pretty chill. Yeah, Drew's there. Drew got there. We need a third person to be here to manage the stream and also be a judge.
Yeah.
And just Google stuff and just watch for rules interactions. I feel like it's hard when you're playing and
agree.
streaming and trying to be entertaining.
I'm trying so hard to be
So you're
entertaining.
gonna cut this foil Maze Mind Tome too because it's foil.
I mean, it looks real flat if I'm honest.
Maybe I'm supposed to be playing Mutavault here in a spell slot. Maybe that's better than like Hobble Fiend or something, just because it's a zombie for the 2 zombie things I have that care about zombies.
I think I have a non-foil in the Turbo Cube, so I should just swap them.
Are you foiling out the Turbo Cube?
No. I mean, I feel like for this cube, I kind of want everything to be consistent. I'm even kind of like off this.
Extended art. I can't decide on these extended arts if I like them more or
It's
less than the
really
regular.
tough. On some cards, it looks really good.
This one,
on
it's like
others, not so much.
Toss up.
The really just like the corners here look real bad. It looks a lot better on the legendary creatures, where this actually is like a solid block.
Yeah. Also, when the color of the art and the card just
Right.
kind of bleeds into it, then it looks
Totally.
pretty good. All right, we're gonna wrap the YouTube video there. That's been a grid draft of Anthony's normal cube. Turns out red, black sacrifice, wet sacrifice, too good. Master of Death, you're on the watch list, buddy.
I'll do better next time.
I mean, you spent the whole draft hate drafting against me, and you got exactly what you deserved.
Fair.
All right, YouTube video done.